Hey, Scott Johnston here. I want to read from Psalm 86, verse 5. It says this in his word: You, Lord, are forgiving and good, abounding in love to all who call to you. One of the things that we believe about God is that he is all good. The way I like to describe this is that God is omnibenevolent, that he's all good. It reminds me of the story. I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. His name is Bob Goff. He's a favorite around here at Bayside. And Bob is one of my favorite people on the planet. He's done a lot of different stuff. He travels and speaks and preaches the gospel, but he's also a lawyer. He's a best-selling author, but he was also a lawyer. And one of the amazing things that he's done is he's done a lot of humanitarian work all around the globe and in Africa. And in a place called Uganda, he actually went and he was able to get a guilty verdict for a witch doctor there for the first time in Ugandan history. No one had ever been able to get a guilty verdict on a witch doctor, because what was happening was these Ugandan witch doctors, they would go out and they would try and they would abduct kids and they would abuse them, and it was a really terrible situation. And they were doing this because they were trying to bring healing, and they would do these rituals trying to bring healing to their tribe. But Bob comes in and he actually gets a guilty verdict for the first time in Ugandan history. But what I love about Bob is that he didn't stop there. You see, he actually started gathering up witch doctors to talk to them and ask them questions to find out what it was that they really needed. And what he found was that what they really needed was an education. And so he starts an in-class education program for witch doctors so that they could actually become educated and actually become real healers of their community. I love this quote from Bob when he talks about this. He says, one of my favorite images is when I get to see them write their ABCs for the first time on a piece of paper when they used to be out there abusing kids. How cool is that? All of that happened because Bob believed that witch doctors are loved by God, that they're actually loved by Jesus, that God is good. You see, one of the things that we believe is that God is a fully just God. He cares about every injustice that occurs in our world. God cares about the people who have experienced pain and abuse and injustice in the world, and that is deeply rooted in the heart of God. But God is not just fully just. God is also fully love. He is also fully loving. God cares about mercy and grace and forgiveness, and that is fundamental to the heart of our God. And so he is fully loving and he is fully just. And one of the beautiful things that we recognize about God is that he is all good, that he is omnibenevolent. I love what Romans 12:2 says. It says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. See, that's what the intention of God looks like in action and through our lives as well. That God is good, that he is all good, that he is omnibenevolent, and he wants to share that with you and through you. I hope this encourages you this morning.